If you're a man over 60 and you've been waking up more tired than rested, feeling like your energy and drive have quietly slipped away without a clear reason, you're not imagining things. Maybe you've noticed intimacy becoming more difficult, not because you've lost the desire, but because your body simply won't respond the way it used to. Maybe you're getting up 2, 3, even 5 times a night just to pee. Or maybe your confidence has taken a hit, not because of what anyone said, but because something deep down doesn't feel steady anymore. And while most people will tell you it's just aging, there's something they're not telling you. Because tucked deep inside your pelvis is a small gland that most men ignore until it starts quietly stealing everything: your sleep, your comfort, and your peace of mind. I'm Dr. Maya Kapoor, and after more than 25 years of helping men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, I want to show you something that might surprise you. It's not a new drug. It's not a complicated diet. It's one simple fruit that, when eaten the right way, can help calm inflammation, improve blood flow, and ease the kind of discomfort no one wants to talk about, not in theory, but within 24 hours. And here's the most remarkable part. Chances are you've had this fruit on your holiday table for decades without knowing what it could do for you. I'm talking about cranberries. Yes, those small tart berries that usually get pushed to the side of the plate. For decades, they've been linked to women's bladder health, but new research is rewriting the story. Because what science is now uncovering is that cranberries may be one of the most overlooked allies for men dealing with prostate discomfort, urgency, and that nagging feeling that something just isn't working right. Over half of men past 60 deal with benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. You know the signs: frequent urination, weak stream, feeling like your bladder never really empties, even after you've gone. That slow, persistent discomfort chips away at how you sleep, how you move through the day, how confident you feel when you're around your partner. It becomes the quiet thing no one talks about, but everyone feels. And the worst part? We've been told it's just part of getting older, but it doesn't have to be. The truth is, cranberries contain a rare class of nutrients called proanthocyanidins, specifically the type A variety that target the very root of prostate inflammation. These compounds help reduce swelling, ease urinary discomfort, and support better flow. In one study, men who consumed cranberry extract daily saw their prostate inflammation markers drop by up to 30%. Their urgency decreased, their sleep improved, they felt more in control, and I've seen it firsthand. I had a patient, David, 67 years old, who told me he hadn't slept through the night in over a year. He was waking up 5 or 6 times just to urinate. We added one small shift to his routine: 8 ounces of unsweetened cranberry juice a day. Within 6 weeks, he was waking up just once. His mood lifted, his flow improved. He told me, "Doc, I didn't know how exhausted I was until I started sleeping again." That's the power of this little berry, not because it's magic, but because it supports your body where it matters most. And it doesn't stop with the prostate. Cranberries also help your heart by improving blood vessel flexibility. That means better circulation, less pressure on your cardiovascular system, and more steady energy. They're loaded with antioxidants that help slow aging and sharpen brain function. And they boost your immune system, making it easier for your body to repair, defend, and stay resilient. The best part? They're easy to incorporate. A half cup of fresh cranberries, or 8 ounces of pure unsweetened cranberry juice each day. Just be sure to avoid the sugar-loaded kinds from the grocery store. They'll do more harm than good. This small habit, 5 minutes a day, could quietly change the trajectory of your energy, your sleep, even your confidence. And if cranberries are the first step, red grapes are the next. Because deep inside this simple fruit is something remarkable, a natural compound called resveratrol that helps restore testosterone levels, enhance blood flow, and even calm inflammation at the cellular level. Let me tell you about Frank. He's 67, retired, and when he came to see me, he felt like his drive was gone, not just in the bedroom, but in life. He told me he wasn't sleeping well, didn't care about much anymore, and felt like his best years were behind him. One morning during a checkup, he mentioned he had red grapes growing in his backyard. I asked him to start eating a handful every day. Just that, no pills, no workouts, just consistency. 6 weeks later, he walked into my clinic with more color in his face, more spark in his eyes. "I feel like myself again," he said. "I'm dreaming again. I have energy again." And he meant it. Because resveratrol does something truly powerful. It supports a protein called SIRT1, which repairs cells, calms inflammation, and helps restore healthy testosterone balance. It improves blood flow by protecting the inner lining of your blood vessels. And when circulation improves, everything does. Your brain, your muscles, your heart, your intimacy. Red grapes aren't flashy. They're not trendy, but they work. 1 to 2 cups a day, or a small glass of pure red grape juice. No sugar, no additives, just what your body recognizes as fuel. And when you combine that with cranberries, you're not just treating symptoms. You're laying a foundation, one that supports the prostate, protects your hormones, and reignites the quiet sense of strength that you thought was fading. This is just the beginning, because the next fruit I'm going to share with you doesn't just ease inflammation. It protects your DNA, stabilizes your blood sugar, and helps keep your prostate calm and steady. You've probably heard the phrase, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." But what if that old saying actually holds the key to restoring your comfort and confidence? Apples have long been a symbol of simplicity, health, and old-fashioned wisdom. But what modern science is now revealing is that apples, especially when eaten daily with the skin, contain a compound called quercetin that directly supports prostate health in men over 60. This flavonoid has been studied for its ability to reduce inflammation, support circulation, and even slow the progression of BPH, the very condition that's waking you up at night and robbing you of your comfort. One of my patients, Harold, was 64 when he first came to me. His main complaint wasn't pain, it was frustration. He couldn't sleep through the night. He felt constantly interrupted by his bladder, and his energy during the day was unpredictable. I suggested something almost too simple: 2 apples a day, 1 in the morning, 1 after dinner. That was it. 8 weeks later, he came back with a different voice. He said, "Dr. Kapoor, I didn't realize how much this was draining me until it stopped." His sleep had improved, his urgency dropped, his energy was more stable, but most importantly, he felt like himself again. That's the kind of shift that happens when you stop fighting your body and start feeding it what it needs. Apples, especially with the skin on, deliver not only quercetin, but powerful antioxidants that protect your cells from the oxidative stress that leads to inflammation, swelling, and long-term dysfunction. They're also rich in soluble fiber, which helps regulate blood sugar and supports hormone balance. And when your hormones stay steady, your prostate stays calmer. It's that simple. I often tell my patients, healing doesn't always come in the form of a prescription. Sometimes it comes in the form of a habit, and a daily apple is a habit that works. But we're not done yet, because there's one fruit most men ignored for decades, thinking it was too high in fat or too calorie dense to be good for them. I'm talking about avocados. Smooth, green, creamy, and loaded with nutrients your prostate and hormones are desperate for. For years, fats were seen as the enemy, but now we know healthy fats, especially those found in avocados, are one of the most powerful tools for restoring balance, circulation, and vitality in the male body after 60. Inside every avocado is a plant compound called beta-sitosterol. This natural phytosterol has been shown in multiple clinical studies to reduce symptoms of BPH, improve urinary flow, and ease pressure in the pelvic region. But more than that, avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, exactly the kind your body needs to produce testosterone. And testosterone, contrary to what many believe, isn't just about libido. It governs your energy, your confidence, your muscle strength, and even how your body burns fat and builds bone. One of my longtime patients, Alan, was 69 when he came to see me. His nights were fragmented. He felt tired during the day. He described himself as fading out. We added just one simple habit: half an avocado each morning, every day. 6 weeks later, he told me he felt grounded again. His balance was better. He was sleeping more soundly. But most of all, he said, "I feel like I've got my rhythm back." And that's what this is really about. Not just function, but rhythm. The deep internal sense that your body is still on your side. Avocados also support blood pressure. Thanks to their high potassium content, they help flush out excess hormones through fiber, and they're incredibly easy to work into your day. Spread on toast, blended into a smoothie, sliced into salad, or eaten with a spoon and a pinch of sea salt. Gentle, nourishing, steady, that's what your body is craving. Now, if you've made it this far, I want to take a moment and speak directly to you. Because what you're doing by learning about these fruits isn't small. You're reclaiming a part of yourself that may have gone quiet, not out of weakness, but out of neglect. Not because you gave up, but because no one ever told you how simple it could be to feel like yourself again. And we're still not done. Because there's one last fruit on this list, and it's often mistaken for a vegetable. But what it holds inside may be the most powerful compound ever discovered for shrinking inflammation inside the prostate, restoring steady flow, and protecting your body at the cellular level. I'm talking about tomatoes, and what they contain, lycopene, might just be your greatest ally yet. Tomatoes may seem too ordinary to be life-changing, but inside this familiar fruit lies one of the most heavily researched natural compounds for prostate health, lycopene. It's what gives tomatoes their rich red color, but that pigment does far more than please the eye. Lycopene is a potent antioxidant that doesn't just float through your bloodstream. It concentrates inside your prostate tissue more than almost any other place in your body. And once it's there, it goes to work. Multiple studies have shown that lycopene can reduce markers of prostate inflammation by up to 40%, and not over years, within just a few months. It calms the inflammation that makes your prostate swell, presses against your bladder, disrupts your sleep, and turns your daily life into a series of interruptions. But even more remarkable is this: lycopene helps stabilize abnormal cell growth. That means it doesn't just ease symptoms, it supports cellular health and may reduce your risk of more serious complications. I had a patient named Walter, 72. He came in with elevated PSA levels and growing anxiety. He wasn't sleeping. He felt pressure in his lower abdomen, and like many men, he feared the worst. But instead of rushing into procedures, we took a more foundational approach. I told him to start eating cooked tomatoes at least 5 times a week. That's right, not raw, but cooked. Because when tomatoes are heated, lycopene becomes up to 4 times more absorbable. He started with tomato soup, added a spoon of tomato paste to his stews, roasted tomatoes with dinner, and within 6 months, his PSA levels stabilized. His sleep returned, the pressure eased, and his voice, the way he carried himself, was lighter. He said, "Doc, I feel like food is finally doing something for me." Tomatoes don't just shrink your prostate, they support your blood vessels, protect your testosterone, and fight oxidative damage that ages your tissues from the inside out. And unlike synthetic pills or short-term fixes, tomatoes work with your biology, quietly, gently, and effectively. If you want the full benefit, go for cooked forms, like tomato paste, roasted tomatoes, or stewed into sauces. Aim for 5 to 7 servings a week. That's it. No side effects, no fine print. Just one of nature's most powerful tools, already sitting in your kitchen. But the real magic doesn't happen when you eat one fruit or take one action. The real shift happens when you bring these 5 together. Because each of these fruits, cranberries, red grapes, apples, avocados, and tomatoes, work in their own unique way. One calms inflammation, another restores circulation, one supports hormone balance, another protects your cells. But when used in combination, something powerful happens. They don't just help, they synergize. Their nutrients amplify each other. They unlock deeper absorption, faster response, and more complete healing. It's not about treating symptoms in isolation. It's about building a nutritional defense system that strengthens you from every angle: hormonal, circulatory, cellular, and emotional. And here's what I've seen over and over again in my practice. When men stop relying on pills alone and start feeding their bodies consistently with what it actually needs, everything begins to change. Sleep improves, urgency fades, energy returns, and most of all, confidence creeps back in, not because they're chasing youth, but because they've reclaimed function, reclaimed clarity, reclaimed a sense of ownership over their own bodies. And they didn't have to change everything to get there. That's the beauty of it. You don't need a brand new diet. You don't need to become a fitness model or count every calorie. You just need to start. Add cranberries to your oatmeal. Slice avocado on toast. Munch on red grapes after lunch. Stir tomato paste into your soup. Eat an apple after dinner. These aren't extreme changes, but they create extreme shifts. And when you do this every day, just a little, your body listens. It responds. Because healing doesn't require perfection. It requires consistency. You don't need to do everything. You just need to begin. The sooner, the better. Because what most men don't realize is this: the longer you wait, the more the body adapts to dysfunction. But the opposite is also true. The sooner you begin, even in small ways, the more your body starts to remember its strength. And I know what some of you might be thinking right now: I'm too old, or it's too late for me. I hear that every week, and every week I get to prove that it's wrong, because I've watched men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s rediscover energy, intimacy, and confidence, not because they reversed time, but because they finally gave their body what it needed. This is your chance, your reset, your quiet revolution. Because every time you choose one of these fruits, you're not just making a dietary change. You're sending a signal to your body that you still care, that you're still in the game, and that you're not willing to give up on your health, your comfort, or your future. These choices may seem small, but they build momentum, and over the course of a few weeks, they begin to rewrite how your body functions. In my practice, I've seen men who once believed their only option was to suffer in silence finally sleep through the night. I've seen them smile when they realized they didn't need to scan every room for the nearest bathroom. I've seen them stand taller, walk with more ease, hold their partner's hand again, with the quiet confidence of a man who feels in control of his own life. That's what this is really about. Not just shrinking a swollen gland, not just improving a lab number. It's about getting your life back. It's about waking up without dread, moving through the day without discomfort, feeling present in your relationships, in your body, and in your purpose. And if you're still here, listening, then I want to say something to you directly. You haven't given up. And that means everything, because the men who see the biggest changes aren't the ones who do everything perfectly. They're the ones who decide to begin. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, before you go to bed, choose one fruit, just one. Wash it, prepare it, and have it ready for tomorrow morning. When you wake up, don't scroll your phone. Don't wait until you're starving. Eat that fruit first. Give your body something real, something that says, "We're starting this day right." Then repeat it the next day and the next. Add another fruit the week after that. Let your body feel what it's been missing, not through drastic overhaul, but through quiet, consistent care. Because the truth is, food is not just fuel, it's communication. It tells your body how to heal, where to focus, what to restore. These 5 fruits, cranberries, red grapes, apples, avocados, and tomatoes, they're not fads. They've stood the test of time, backed by research, supported by results. They don't promise miracles, but they deliver transformation through biology your body still understands. And now that you understand it too, you have a choice. Not someday, not next year, now. You have the power to change how you feel, how you sleep, how you function, not with surgery, not with shame, but with a fork and 5 minutes of intention. So I'll ask you, will you take that first step? Will you choose to reclaim what time and silence may have taken? If even one of these fruits speaks to you, start there. Make it yours. Let it become part of your rhythm. And then watch what begins to unfold. Better sleep, stronger flow, calmer mornings, deeper confidence. These aren't just symptoms easing. They're signs of life returning, quietly, steadily, and fully yours. Have you ever noticed a change in your body after eating one of these fruits regularly? Maybe more energy, better sleep, fewer bathroom trips. If so, I'd love to hear your story. And if you're just getting started, leave me a comment below and tell me, which of these 5 fruits will you start with? Or simply type, "I'm starting today," if this message spoke to something inside you. Your words might give another man the encouragement he's been needing to take his first step, too. And if you want more real practical advice like this, no gimmicks, no shame, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I share new insights every single week to help you stay strong, stay steady, and age on your own terms. This is Dr. Maya Kapoor. Stay grounded, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.